yourself? I got some stuff. I got some stuff. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It was enough to make Miss Amy laugh, so it should be okay. I bet you're right. Hey Jason, is the pod after service? Right? Is it after service? Okay, cool. I played with one of those the other day. They're so like Alright guys, welcome to youth! Welcome to youth! You can go ahead and start to take your seats if you haven't already. How many of you guys are like really tired of school already? Oh, awesome. That's so cool. How many of you guys like school and enjoy going to school now? Like, oh, someone screamed, no! From the back. That's awesome. Okay, well, tonight we can just kind of forget about school for a hot second, and we can just go ahead and worship. So if you're going to stand, stand up, we're going to worship together. It's just, there we go. Alright, round two. guys can be seated for some games now.
What's up? How's everybody doing? Good. Alright, we're gonna play a couple games. My name is Jason. If you know him.
Hi, Jason.
Hello. The youth pastor here. Couple things before we play. Tonight is first Wednesday. It's September 1st, first Wednesday of the month. We always do something a little special. So tonight, the Pie Queen, you may know the Pie Queen. The Pie Queen is a lady who makes amazing pies. She actually is kind of based out of Boy's General Store down the road. But she also has a little food truck. Her food truck's not here, but her pies are, and her cookies and all that kind of stuff. So after we dismiss to go to small group, you'll be able to grab either a pie, your own pie, or your own Sammy's, called Sammy's cookies with icing in the middle. So you can choose. So make sure that
it's sold, then you'll hold your thumb up in the air, like thumbs up. If you think it did not sell, you will have a thumbs down. Okay? Thumbs up. Let's see your thumbs up. Everybody know how to do that? Thumbs up really high. So that means it sold. That means it did not. Or you think it did not. Okay, here's our first one. Let's see. A Virgin Mary on a grilled cheese. Do you think this sold on eBay? Or not so much? All right, lock in your answers. And the correct answer is it did. It sold for $28,000. $28,000? Yeah. So if you got that wrong, have a seat. Everybody else, most of you got that right. $28,000. They thought it was special and holy because the Virgin Mary was on it. Next one, let's see. A permanent reservation at a Disney World hotel, like a reservation for forever. Did this sell on eBay? Or no? What do you think? Lock your votes in, yes or no? Correct answer is it did not sell on eBay. So sit down if you got that wrong. And next one, a mummified tongue. Is that something that's sold? It didn't ask you if it was nice or good or not. All right. Lock your answers in. The correct answer is it did. $51. Not a whole lot, but it sold for $51. All right. If you got it wrong, have a seat. Next one. Justin Timberlake's wax statue. Now, I didn't mean if you want to buy this. It just means if it actually sold. He looks a little creepy there. Yes or no? All right, lock your answers in. Correct answer is no, that did not. So have a seat if you got it wrong. All right, we're narrowing it down to just a few. All right, next one. Forehead space for a tattoo. Somebody sold their forehead to put a tattoo on it for a company. Is this real? Or, I don't know that it was actually Snore Stop. I don't know. All right, lock your answers in. Correct answer is, it is true. It sold for $37,000. And I'm assuming they still have it. So you guys are still in. All right, next one. A 5-year-old McRib sandwich. I don't know that you would want a 32-old McRib sandwich, but correct answer is not sold. If you got it wrong, have a seat. All right, you guys, down to you two, I think, right? Yeah. Next one. The Volkswagen that was owned by Pope Benedict. Do you think this sold on eBay or not? Lock your answers in. Correct answer is it sold, $244,000. You got it right. All right. How many more do we have of these? All right, we're good. Next one. A plot of land in Antarctica. All right, correct answer is it is not sold. Jameson is our winner. All right, let's finish up the next two just to see what everybody thinks. Air from the Kanye West concert. Who thinks that's sold? Correct answer is, yeah, this made the news. $65,000. I remember this. I didn't know it was that much, though. Next one. A vial of LeBron James's sweat. And if air from a concert sold, you think that sweat would, right? Correct answer? That didn't sell. I mean, if it was on there, it would have sold, but I don't think it was on there. The next one, last one, a 405-foot Giga Yacht. What do you think? The correct answer is, yeah, it sold for $168 million on eBay. The eBay fees alone would have been in the millions, probably. All right, we're gonna play another game, real quickly. So I need, well, I can't remember what this game is called. 12 in 12. All right. So I'm gonna pick a couple volunteers. I'm gonna pick people. Jackson, have you been up here yet? Have you? Come on up here. And Olivia. Come on. Yeah, you come on. You don't want to? All right. I just need 2 girls. So yeah, come on up here. All right. All right. Here's the game. It's called 12 and 12. You're going to work together. Your team, okay? And the best pair will win the game. What's going to happen is there are going to be 12 seconds. There's going to be a video plays, and in 12 seconds time, there's going to be some items that pop up. 12 items, and you have 12 seconds to memorize them. And then you'll have 30 seconds to tell me as many of them as you can, okay? All right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to let the ladies go first, okay? So you try to memorize as many as you can in the 12 seconds, and then you'll immediately have 30 seconds to try to list them off to me, all right? You'll have 30 seconds together just to yell off as many as you can. There's no wrong, so just try to get as many of the 12 as you can. All right? Here we go. All right, let's see how many you can get, and you'll have 30 seconds. It's going to go.
Pencil, light bulb, towel, glasses, iPad, clock, umbrella, pencil, yeah, light bulb.
So that one. You got 3 more. Can you get 3 more? Oh, no, your time's up. All right, so you got 9 out of 12. Good job. All right, guys, you have to beat 9 out of 12 to get this point. Okay? You think you can do that? Huh? 30 minutes? All right, so let's see the guys. The guys are next. Your video is up next. Oh, this is the. That's okay. Here we go. Ready, guys? And wait till the timer starts. And go.
Turkey homework valve up.
That's 4.
Security, homework.
You said that one.
You said security.
Yeah.
Remember or not?
Yes, we know guys.
Mm-hmm. 10 seconds.
It's not exhausting.
You need 2 more to tie with them. All right, you got that point. All right, girls has 1 point.
They got images though.
It's different every time.
Yeah.
All right, girls, you're up.
Can't read.
Next one for the girls. All right, then the timer starts now.
Salad, meat, pineapple, ice cream, carrot, apple, carrot, pizza, taco, cupcake,
Mm-hmm.
apple,
7 seconds. You said that. All right, good job. You got 8 that time. All right, guys. They got 8. All right. Guys, here's yours. Ready? 3 seconds. And when the timer starts, now.
Best Buy, Chick-fil-A, Krispy Kreme, Target,
Starbucks, Toys R Us,
Walmart.
Macy's, IKEA, and
That's all that I remember.
oh, it sounded like it was only 2 words. We won, right?
Yeah, you got it. You got 9. All right, so they have 1, you have 1. So now you guys have one more chance. There's gonna be 2 more. So you have one more chance to get the point. All right, here's yours, ladies, your last chance. And time starts now.
Tiger, elephant. Frog. Camel corn hat. Fish. Snake. Camel cat, fish, snake. Bunny, frog, horse. Camel. How many more points have?
Yeah, 10. Oh, time's up. They have 10. They got 10. All right.
I agree.
Guys, this is your last chance. Let's see if you can do it. Ready? Go. Ready? And your time starts now.
3, 3, 3, 1.
7, 14, 533, 4,370, 24,
Mhm.
Yeah, they
You have 5. You got. Come on, you just need 5 more.
won. I don't remember them.
Come on, they're just numbers.
Yeah, the numbers.
5 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Got another one. All right, good job. Y'all got 6. Ladies, you are the winners. Good job. All right, ladies. Here you go. And since you won this, you get a chance at the impossible shot. Huh? No, they won. They're doing it. No. Because they won. It's on the line there. Oh, not even close. Here you go. Oh, that's close. You do get a candy bar for getting at least hitting the target. Good job. Give them a hand. Good job, everybody. Huh? Oh yeah, you did win. Sure. Yeah, Jameson. I'll let
Go,
you.
Jameson.
Here you go. Come on, Jameson. On the line.
He knocks the arrow. Never mind, it comes undone.
Are you a lefty?
Does he
There
know
you
how
go.
to shoot it? He's knocking it. Knocking it.
There
And
you
he's
go.
got it. There it is. He aims back. Fires. Oh, just a bit
Good
high.
try. Good job, guys. Let's worship.
Say jokes.
And next up, we have Jokes with Austin.
I do. So before everybody got here, my girl Emily over here,
Yeah.
she told me a joke. It was pretty funny. It was why did God create Adam before Eve? Because if he would have created Eve first, he would have got advice on how to build Adam. Because it's still funny. So how does Moses make his tea? He brews it. That's a good one. I know. I'm not a good comedian. Why isn't a koala a bear? No, it's marsupial. That's a TikTok joke. Y'all are supposed to know that. I'm out of jokes.
You're out of jokes? All right, stay
Anybody
tuned
got
for
any
next
jokes?
week.
That's
All right,
funny.
we're
That's
going to
fine.
continue with worship, but
Y'all put
next
me on the
week,
spot.
stay tuned for more
Put me on the
jokes.
spot.
If you sing or play an instrument or want to help out with worship, you say you? Yeah. If you guys want to help out with worship, we would love to have you come talk to me, come talk to Austin or someone,
man, let me know.
and we would love to have you up here on the team.
There's no tryout. Just don't lie to us.
Did you say there's no tryout?
No tryouts. Just don't lie.
Expectations are low.
Yeah.
All right. Let's stand up and continue to worship together.
No tryouts, but just don't lie to us. Like, actually know how to play the instrument.
What gift of grace is Jesus, my Redeemer? There is no more for heaven now to give. He is my joy, my righteousness and freedom, my steadfast love, my deep and boundless peace. To this I hold, my hope is only Jesus. For my life is wholly bound to His. Oh, how strange and divine! I can sing, all is mine, yet not I, but through Christ in me. but He brought me in all His love for me. Oh, His love for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Free at last, He has ransomed me. Oh, His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, He died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Yes, I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Dear Heavenly Father, as Jason prepares to speak and give a mighty word, I hope that you just open the hearts and souls and ears and minds of these students so that they can start a revival, not in this room, but also in their schools and in their atmospheres that they're always in. We love you and we thank you for the opportunity to come praise your name every single Wednesday night. We may be small in number, but we are mighty in faith. We love you. Amen.
All right, so we are talking about, we're starting a series actually, so this will be a few weeks long, but we're talking about how to ruin your life. And, I hope that by the end of these few weeks that we're going to be talking about this stuff, that you'll kind of have an idea, a full working knowledge of how to really mess up your life. And the whole purpose of this is not so that you actually mess up your life, but that you can avoid messing up your life. It's not to lead to destruction, but it's to lead you to a life that is filled with success, hopefully. So for the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about topics like choosing friends. We've talked about this a little bit, but choosing friends who will stand the test of time, how to develop those kind of relationships that last, how to date in a way that is healthy and that will last, how to use our phones in a way that keeps us safe and healthy, things that require a little thing called wisdom. That's kind of really what the series is all about, is the idea of wisdom. I know we've talked about wisdom in weeks and years past. I really want us to understand how important it is to make decisions relying on wisdom, the wisdom that God gives us. Typically, when we talk about wisdom in church, we get that glazed over look from everybody, and the church generally tries to make these huge claims about wisdom. That's kind of the problem. We claim that if you can just live wisely and your entire life is going to change and be great and your future is wonderful. But that's not how wisdom works. And so when we make those claims, sometimes it cheapens the reality of what things are, because when we make a claim about something like that that's so big and it ends up not delivering in the way that we say it will, then our tendency then from that point on is to disregard everything that the church has to say, or everything maybe that Scripture has to say, or that person has to say. The world has become suspicious of claims like that, right? Online, this is called clickbaiting. Anybody know what clickbaiting is? A lot of you do, yeah. It's when like internet videos or articles or blogs or whatever, different things, they have titles that are like, they tried this simple solution and you won't believe what happens. Click to find out. Or 6 tips to find the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend. Number 3 is going to shock you. You won't believe what happened next. They showed a little picture, what happened. And so you click on it because you want to know what happened next, or you want to know what these 6 steps are. What's number 3? And generally, you're just going to get bombarded with a bunch of ads, right? Or it's going to be something that's so ridiculously obvious that you didn't need somebody to tell you that. And so they end up making us mad, and that whoever created them for clicking on it, or for creating it, and then mad at ourselves for clicking on it, wasting all that time. But the truth is, wisdom is not like clickbait. It doesn't promise an immediate response. Wisdom does not promise an automatic solution. In fact, wisdom is really the opposite. Wisdom promises us hard work, that we have to work hard. It's a difficult road to take, the wisdom road. Wisdom is not like a BuzzFeed article that promises to get your life straight in these 5 easy steps. It's a day-to-day struggle. It's a daily grind. It's something that we have to continue to apply to our lives every single day, and it's not a life hack. Anybody know what a life hack is? What's a life hack? Hack the life. What does that mean? Yeah, something that's supposed to make something easier. If you figure out an easy way to reach a solution, to reach the point that you want to get to. These are online all the time. You see videos of life hacks, things that are supposed to create solutions to problems. And sometimes they are, but most of the time, they're just creating solutions to problems that don't really exist. But I want to give you, we have a video I'm going to show you of some funny, I guess, life hacks that these guys have put together. So take a look at this video real quick.
Have you ever accidentally drawn on your dry erase board with a permanent marker? To correct your mistake, simply draw over your marking with a dry erase marker. Now wipe, and it's gone.
In the event that you only have 10 seconds to live, and you need to peel a hard-boiled egg, simply peel off the ends and blow. And then go find it.
Quit eating cupcakes the wrong way. Once you've taken off the wrapper, rip the cake part in half and turn the top part upside down. Now smash together and enjoy.
If you have broken glass somewhere, begin by sweeping up the large pieces. Then take a piece of bread and rub it across the same area. Pores in the bread will get rid of all of the tiny shards. Note, make sure that you do not put the bread back into the loaf.
To easily separate an egg yolk from the egg white, take an empty water capsule, squeeze it, press the lips against the egg yolk. Now let go. Move it over to an empty container and squeeze again.
To hang a picture perfectly level every time, place a strip of tape between the 2 holes on a frame. Mark where the holes are. Remove the tape and stick it on your wall. Now drill. Perfection.
Are your CDs scratched? Remove those pesky scratches by rubbing the underside with a banana in a circular motion. Now with the underside of the peel, rub it in a counterclockwise motion. Now wipe it clean with a cloth. Worked, right?
Think so.
Oh, and get an iPod already.
Speaking of CDs, in the event that you need to transport a bagel, and who doesn't, Remove the stack of blank CDRs you haven't used since 2004 and replace it with said bagel. Then click the top back in place and insert into your fanny pack.
If you need to get rid of a pesky rodent, you can do so with a single Dorito. Just take a corner of the Dorito and press the trigger of any gun pointed at the rodent. If your wife's out of town and you're stuck folding that pesky fitted sheet, simply tuck one of the corners into the other corner, like so. Now take the third corner and tuck that in there as well.
Wait, is
no,
this the
that's
third
the
corner?
fourth.
Is this the, okay,
That's
so
the fourth corner.
This is the third.
No, that's the second.
No, this is the second because I put this one in here. So the first
Okay, I
one.
think you messed. I think that's.
Well,
okay,
then this is the
was-
first corner because it's a circle.
You sure?
It's just a circle. Just hold on. Let me. You say and I'll. I know
stick
which.
the first. Stick the first into the second.
Yep.
Stick the second and first into the third. Stick the first into the second. Stick the second and first into the third. That's the fourth.
Just wad it up.
Now, some of those were actually helpful. You've probably seen most of those. But clearly, some of these are more work than the original problem was, right? So, when you think about life hacks or easy solutions, that's not what wisdom is about. Life hacks are, of course, supposed to be things that add more time to our life, quicker ways to get things done, and that's not what wisdom is all about. Wisdom, we're going to look at three ways wisdom will fail you if you apply these things. The first thing, wisdom will always fail you if you treat it like a life hack or treat it like a quick fix. Wisdom will always fail you if you treat it like that. Wisdom is this continual choice that you have to make every single day, probably multiple times a day, and you have to continue pursuing it. It's something you have to want in your life. 1 Peter 2:2 says this, like newborn infants, long for the pure spiritual milk, that by it you may grow up into salvation. You know, like babies need milk to survive, right? That's all they eat. They need this to survive. Spiritually, when we become Christians, we are like infants spiritually, and we need milk to survive. We need this spiritual milk to survive. And the thing is, wisdom is part of that process. We need that to grow. We need that to survive. We need that to make decisions in order to navigate whatever crazy things life has to throw us. And we know life has a lot of things to throw at us, especially here lately. And so you need to make sure that you don't treat wisdom like a quick fix. The second thing is that if you think, wisdom will always fail you if you think that wisdom is free. Wisdom will always fail you if you think that it is free, because wisdom was bought with a price. And sometimes, a lot of times, that price is your own blood, sweat, and tears. And sometimes it's somebody else's blood, sweat, and tears. Wisdom is paid for by our own experiences, us going through something difficult, or someone going through something difficult. They then gain perspective. They gain wisdom on how to navigate that in the right or wrong ways. They know what didn't work. They know what does work. And so either you're going to end up paying for it through your own life, or someone else has. And so when we face a situation, we can use wisdom and apply that and realize, hey, I don't know how to do this, so I need to find somebody who's been through this. Otherwise, I'm going to learn the hard way. And hopefully you're smart enough not to want to learn the hard way. Proverbs 13:20 says this, whoever walks with the wise gains wisdom, but if all your friends are fools, you will suffer great harm. Now, when it talks about being fools, it's not like being derogatory. It's not being hateful towards someone. Being a fool, a lot of times we think of that as someone who's like just not smart at all, or somebody who is careless. In this context, a fool is just someone who doesn't know about that situation. You can be a fool when it comes to a certain topic. You know, you can be a fool when it comes to anatomy. Doesn't mean you're not a smart person, but that's something you haven't studied. You could be a fool when it comes to a certain language that you haven't studied. It doesn't mean that you aren't a smart person. It just means in those areas you are foolish because you have not yet learned. And so when it comes to life, the younger you are, the more foolish you are because you haven't experienced some of the things. It doesn't mean that you're not smart people. I'm still foolish on a lot of things in life because I haven't yet experienced them. But there are some things that I have experienced since your age to where I am now that I'm now more wise in because either I've gone through it or I've sought counsel from someone who has gone through that. So if you find people who have already paid, for that wisdom, then they've already experienced, what you're going through, then you won't have to pay for it. Does that make sense? If you find somebody who is going through a similar situation or has gone through a similar situation that you're facing, they can give you information, they can give you advice, they can help you navigate that choice and help you avoid the pitfalls, avoid the dangerous mistakes, and help you to make the choices that would benefit you. Isn't that much better than you having to trip and trip and trip and then trying to figure it out maybe after 4 or 5 failures? That's what seeking wisdom is all about, and that's what that passage means. When you walk with the wise, when you are around people who have been through things, you're going to gain wisdom from them. But if you're just hanging out with people who are going through the same things in your life and you never seek someone who is wiser, you're going to continue to fall into those same things. Wisdom that was never paid for cannot be considered wisdom. Proverbs 4:7 says, a father gives his son this advice: get wisdom, and whatever you get insight. So the father is telling his son that when we seek wisdom, we need to also seek to gain insight. When we ask other people for advice, if you're a small group leader, your parents, maybe an older friend or an older relative, when you seek advice from them, don't just say, hey, what should I do? And then have them tell you, go this way or go that way. No, ask them to give you insight on why would this be the best option, or why is this not a good option. Help them to explain to you from their perspective, which is outside the situation and which is also, kind of they've been through it. They can explain to you, well, this is why you don't want to do this. It looks like it's a good option, but here's the things that could happen when you do that, and you don't want to get into that. Here's the things that can happen when you choose this path. They can give you insight into the situation, which brings more perspective to it. Your friends love you, hopefully. You have good friends who love you. Your friends are going to try to give you good advice. Your friends are going to say, yes, you should date that person, or yes, you should go to that college, or yes, you should go to work at this place, or you could do these things. But and they hopefully will mean that with all sincerity, and they will really want the best for you, but they don't know because they haven't been through that themselves. They're in the same boat that you are. They're going through the same things you're going through. They're trying to make the same kind of decisions that you're going to make or that you're making now. And as much as they love you, they can't give you perspective that is different from yours. Whereas your parents or your small group leader or a pastor or some older person that you trust, a grandparent, they can give you perspective that is really valuable because they've paid for it, or they have sought counsel from someone else who has paid for it. So wisdom is not free, and it's not something that we can just kind of casually run to when we feel like it. The cost of not gaining wisdom is too high, and when you don't seek wisdom, you're going to experience pain. Who loves pain? Nobody. We don't like pain, right? Unless you're trying to get swole, and even then you don't like the pain, you just like the results. So nobody wants to experience pain, so do what you can to avoid that and make wise decisions. And again, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk to your friends about things that you're going through. It just means that maybe you should also include someone who has a little bit more perspective, a little bit more wisdom. James warns us about that kind of thinking when he wrote James chapter 4, verse 14. He says, what is your life? You're a mist that disappears for a while and then vanishes. You're here now, but where will you be tomorrow? Wisdom will always guide us away from thinking so small about our lives, about thinking just like one step ahead. It'll guide us to spend our thoughts and our time and our energy focusing more on our life and making sure that we will have our future in the direction that God wants it to be. Like I said earlier, wisdom is not clickbait, and it's not a simple life hack. On the surface, it might look simple, the idea of wisdom, but it's really pretty complex. So let me give you an example. In Scripture, this is not on the screen, I don't think, but 2 verses that are back to back, and they seem to contradict themselves. People use these a lot of times to talk about how the Bible, the writers of the Bible don't know what they're talking about. But Proverbs chapter 26, verse 4 says, do not answer a fool, or else you will be a fool yourself. Okay? So the advice is, if a foolish person is trying to get you to give them an answer, don't answer them, or you'll be a fool yourself because you'll fall into that trap. And then the next one, the very next verse, verse 5, says this: answer the fool, or else he will think himself wise. So which is it? Do we answer him? Do we or just let them talk? But the answer is both, because it depends on the situation, and it requires wisdom to know which way to go. It requires wisdom to know if this is a situation where this person is really genuinely seeking advice, or is this person trying to incite something? We live in a world today where everybody's on edge. Not everybody, a lot of people have agendas that are hidden. And so when they come at you, they may come at you pretty hard to give them a response. Well, tell me what you believe about this. Tell me what you believe about this. And probably, if they're coming at you like that, they're not actually wanting to know about that. They're not really wanting to understand where you're coming from. They're wanting to catch you in something. They're wanting you to either disagree with them so they can argue with you or something like that. So knowing what that kind of situation is, you would know, hey, this is not the time where I would answer or respond to this person in a way that's going to drive us into an argument. It would be more of a situation where, hey, I need to kind of steer this into a safe way. Whereas if it's somebody who's genuinely coming to you, hey, what do you believe about this? Because they want to know, they're in a situation where they need to know, they're foolish in that situation, and so they need wisdom, then that's an example where you could answer them and try to give them advice or give them wisdom. So you really need wisdom in your life in order to be able to know how to share wisdom. And so you have to kind of have this intimate relationship with wisdom. And so that's the last thing. Wisdom will always fail you in your life if you only think of wisdom as a collection of knowledge. Just because you know a lot does not mean that you're wise, right? We've talked about this before. What is the difference between wisdom and knowledge? Is there a difference? What's the difference? Yeah, wisdom is application more. Knowledge is more about facts, the data. Whereas wisdom is how to acknowledge that data and how to use that in your life. Here's how Scripture describes wisdom. A father describes it to his son in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 13 through 18. It says this: "Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than gain from silver, and her profit better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is the tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold her fast are called blessed." So the father wants his son to think of wisdom as his spouse. I know that's weird, I know that's awkward, but stay with me for just a second. When you're married, which I know most of you are not in this room, but when you're married, you have a spouse. You have someone that now you share everything with, right? And so you don't make decisions without including your spouse, without inviting them into that process. You wouldn't move without talking to your spouse about it. You wouldn't change careers. You probably wouldn't even really plan dinner unless you're trying to plan a surprise without bringing your spouse in, not because they're going to be mad about what you're thinking. It's just because that's a decision that also affects them. Some of the bigger ones really affects them. Smaller ones may not be earth-shattering, but they still affect them. And so you invite the opportunity to share that with that person. And that's what a relationship with wisdom looks like. It's inviting wisdom into every aspect of your life. We become kind of married, have a relationship with wisdom. And the Father says that wisdom will grant us a long life. Wisdom connects us to a purpose that's more valuable than money. When we make a decision without wisdom, we're kind of cheating on wisdom, if you continue that marriage idea. And then the results that we end up cheating ourselves out of a valuable life. So 3 things that will happen. Wisdom will fail you if you do these things. If you treat it like clickbait, that it's quick, that it's done. Because wisdom is a lifelong process. Every day you need to wake up and say, I'm going to seek wisdom. Wisdom will fail you if you think it's free. Because wisdom comes at a price. Someone's paying that price, whether it is someone who's already been through it or yourself, but it comes at a price. And then wisdom will always fail you if you rely on knowledge instead of wisdom. Just because you know everything in this Bible does not mean that you know how to navigate your life. Just because you know everything, that you can quote Scripture, you can tell us all the history of it, that's great, but that does not tell you how to apply that to your life. People who have been through it can help you to apply that to your life. Knowledge is great, but without wisdom, it's useless. So we need to make sure that you have a relationship